Nigeria is brimming with potential. The demographic advantage of a country with an estimated 223 million people is beyond imagination. However, an unemployment crisis is crumbling the economy, leaving millions in poverty.
I graduated since 2020. There's no work, there's nothing.
When you come to Nigeria, you will see old people doing the work that young people should do.
More than half of the population is multidimensionally poor. As the sun rises in Abuja, Nigeria's capital city, the stark contrast between affluent neighborhoods and city slums is glaring. Urban centers promise opportunities while rural areas yearn for development. Known as the seat of power, Abuja is where major government decisions are taken. Yet, it seems as if the government has forgotten about a large number of its citizens. The Federal Capital Territory is home to over 3 million people. Many relocate to the city with big dreams and hopes of discovering a pot of gold.
60% of Nigeria's 220 million population are young people. These young people are under the age of 25. What this means is that if we do not get these people employed to get off the streets and to be able to actively get involved in utilizing their skills and their abilities and their knowledge, then we will continue to have some ill effects that unemployment will give. And some of these ill effects are kidnappings. Some of these ill effects will be underemployment. Underemployment in the sense that a person works, but their take home cannot actually cater for their needs. Some of these effects we find our young people becoming rapists. Some of these effects are violence.
Millions of Nigerians troop here in search of a better life. But the skyrocketing prices of real estate means they cannot afford to live here. On the fringes of shiny high-rise buildings and ultra-modern estates lies Mabushi village, a slum community home to thousands of unemployed struggling for a better life. Many here live in extreme poverty.
Mabushi is densely populated, humanly populated. In the communities within the city center, Mabushi is the highest populated community. Before coming to the landmass, 80% we are just rising from a meeting with some segment of the youth in Mabushi. It was one of the issues discussed. The number of unemployed youth in the community, it is beyond human saying. People are struggling for survival because the expected is not there, but they are struggling to get the needs of daily life.
Godiya Solomon studied broadcasting at the Nigeria Television Authority College. Since 2020, she has been unemployed.
Life has been very, very difficult. Very. There's no work, there's nothing. And it's not something I can just wake up and tell my parents to help me with. It's just a personal. It's just been as if I'm just left behind. I graduated since 2020, and I've been at home. I've been trying my possible best to look for a job that I will engage myself in. Even if I'm going back for a degree program, I know I'll have something doing, then going to school, even if it is a part-time program. But there is nothing coming in. There's nothing. And it's really, really bad.
She looks at her certificate every day and sometimes thinks her years of education have been futile. Life has been quite difficult for her.
There's a thing of worry now. Everybody's worried. Everybody in Nigeria is worried. It's not a one-side something. It's everywhere. I felt very bad. It's not good for someone to apply for a job and then they'll call you for interview, you go, and then it won't work out. It's a very bad mindset. You'll feel very rough.
Solomon Pambi, Godia's father, is worried about his daughter's future and the Nigerian economy. With many mouths to feed and her siblings graduating university soon, the future is indeed gloomy.
Very, very bad. I feel sometimes I can't sleep because I will be thinking, is that how we are going to remain? Nothing. So in the future, how our children going to be? So I feel so bad. Sometimes if I just lie down, I will be thinking. I will take my time before I sleep. Because if you go out now and see our youth, you'll be crying. So I used to feel bad, very, very bad. I will not tell you lie. What we want at least government to do for us, either help out with scholarships, or our people that they have, our youth that they have they have graduate, help them at least, even if it is something that at least they will be managing their life before they grow.
Solomon is concerned the rising number of youth unemployment will lead to an increase in crime.
This village is like we are inside the city and our boys are running up and down, no work. Even where to go and farm, safe. Federal government have already occupied us with building up and down. There's no way our youth can go farm and they are not giving us job. So I don't know how they want us to do. You know, you've spent school fees. You are not saying maybe you get money after their school so that you put them in. No. Even if they cannot give us work, they should at least train our youth handworking. At least let them help. Maybe 1/4 of it, government should help, and you, a father, can put your hand together and let's see how things go.
A significant number of Mabushi village residents are people who fled banditry attacks in northwest Nigeria. One such victim is Mustafa Abdullahi. He was forced to abandon his home in Zamfara due to insurgent attacks. Undeterred, Mustafa sews clothes to earn his daily bread.
Na zo neman abin da na ci ne domin mi can an hana ni. Na yi noma ba a bar ni na ɗabi abin da na noma ba da kwanciyar hankali. Muna sa shanu amalanke haka misali muna ɗauko hatsinmu daga gona. To ta kai ta kawo wa mu da suwa an kwashe wayansu kuma an kashe tun nan an tafi da su. To yanzu a kai muke ɗauko abin da muka noma. Sai dai mai 'yan uwanmu mu taru in an ga cewa ana ma aiki to kowa ajana shi aiki ya kai a je a taru a je a ɗauko abin nan. Ma'ana abin amfani na gona gero haka a kanmu muke ɗauko shi. Wallahi ba da daɗewa ba 'yan uwanmu sun zo. Kowa ga ganshi za ka ganshi ya ji jiki sosai. Don mi abin da ba mu saba da shi ba. To gashi ya riga ya far mana.
Just like Mustafa, many others have fled their homes in search of a better life in Abuja. But they have found out the hard way that all that glitters isn't gold.
Abin da ya fito da ni a wannan gari na Abuja, na zo nema kuɗi ne, kuma ina sana'a ta ɗinkin tela. Amma abin da yake bani mamaki a garin nan, shin talaka ba zai shiga ya yi sana'a ba ne, so that ni na ga idan muna yawo muna sana'a ta ɗinkin tela ana bibiyan mu ana kama mu. To, ko da wane dalili ne mutanen nan suke kama mu kuma har suna cewa su ma'aikatan gwamnati ne? Shin mu da muke masu ƙaramin ƙarfi ba za mu iya shigowa nan garin mu yi sana'a ba don mu nemi abin da za mu ci, wanda za mu har taimaki iyayenmu da kuma 'yan uwanninmu da sauransu, wanda suke iyayenmu su mutane ne wanda suke ba aiki suke yi ba na gwamnati, noma ne sana'ansu da kuma kiyo na dabbobi. To kuma yanzu matsalar da muke fuskanta yankin da muke a Zurmi local government, shekara 11 da suka wuce a baya muna fama da tashin hankali na mutanen nan 'yan ta'adda, waɗanda ake kira da bandits ko 'yan kidnapping da sauransu. To sun dame mu sosai. Yanzu zaman da ake dai a ƙauyukanmu ba ma kiyo na dabbobi, sannan noman da muke suna bibiyan mu, ba mu samun kwanciyar hankali wa noma. Mun zama abin da muka zama, kai a taƙaice dai ma in ce mun zama bayi a wurin su 'yan ta'adda ɗin.
Maureen Chidinma, a linguistics graduate from the University of Nigeria in Nsukka, tirelessly searched for jobs across Nigeria, but received no favorable response. Coming to terms with this harsh reality, she made the decision to start a business. Maureen is now focused on making sure her 2 young children do not suffer the same fate.
I'm here because it's very close to the town. The expenses, transport expenses and the rest of them. That's why I'm here. Secondly, house rents here are cheaper. If I can't afford to pay millions in a year for 1-bedroom flat or 2-bedroom flat, I'd rather stay here and manage my life. It's not really an easy task for someone to be a graduate and still search for jobs for years without getting any. So it's not an easy task. It's a very big challenge, and you know the repercussion of those things. It leads to different types of atrocities in the society. But being a good person, we just have to thrive. That's why you see that I've established my own business that I manage here to keep the clock moving while I wait for government. The economy is not stable at all. Everybody is suffering, everybody is crying. Apart from those at the top, these are the people that enjoy Nigeria. People are crying. Go out there. Everybody is complaining. The economy is bad. When you get something, when you get to buy, how much is a bag of rice now? Someone earning 100,000 naira can barely feed the family. When the person travels from a far place to this place for work, or when the person works in a very far place, when the person calculates the transport fare and everything, school fees, feeding and all those things, even healthcare, it's not really easy.
Many Nigerians are gifted with the indomitable spirit of resilience. Just like Maureen, who is still hopeful better days are ahead for her and her children.
Anything they want to do in Nigeria, they should just curb unemployment. Even if it's employing people, because we know there are shortage of labor everywhere, we know that. But they don't want to employ capable hands. If you reach the retirement age, you retire and let the young ones to do the work. If you are not able to do it, you go down and leave it for someone who can do it. It's not a do or die affair. There are many young youths out there looking for what to do. But when you come to Nigeria, you will see old people doing the work that young people should do.
But there seems to be a disconnect between the reality for average Nigerians and the ivory tower of data and statistics. In the first quarter of 2023, the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics announced that the unemployment rate in Nigeria had fallen from 33.3% of the population to only 4.1%. This came as a surprise to many, considering the unbearable business environment, high inflationary pressure, dearth in foreign exchange, and increased operating costs from small businesses.
The compilation of data could be very dicey, and I am not aware of the methodology that has been used. There are several methodologies to be able to determine what's happening to a certain population, and what sample they have used I might not be aware as well to be able to come up with the fact that there is a 4.1% rate of unemployment. However, I want to believe that our institutions are strong enough and they have been doing this for years, and I want to trust that what they have done based on their own methodology is right. However, whether we talk about 4.1%, whether we talk about over 4.1%, whether we talk about a drop from a certain percent to 4.1, that might not necessarily be the case. The case is that how do we get a robust economy? Because that's our target. And we want to reduce unemployment. So we keep coming out with figures every quarter, but do we have the solutions?
With a new method for calculating unemployment data, they now categorize employed people as those holding paid positions, even if they only worked for 1 hour in the past 7 days. Underemployment, on the other hand, refers to people who work less than 40 hours per week while expressing their readiness and availability for work. Unemployment is not just statistics. It is a real, tangible force that storms, upsetting the lives of many Nigerians. Families grapple with financial instability. Dreams remain unfulfilled, and aspirations dim in the face of economic hardship.
Nobody can stay for a whole day without having something to eat. And if there are no means of livelihood, one is forced to go into crime. Though there are those that they are perpetual crime actors, but there are those that situation push them. You agree with me that there are some youth today, simply because they cannot go to any site to go and work, and they don't have work to do, they are ready to avail themselves for whatever kind of job that can yield them something to eat. But because they don't have option, they will end up, because you can't stay for the whole day. Unemployment, economic meltdown, security challenge, insurgency, and the rest of them, they are more or less like global issues today, but there is more we need to do. Government have a role to play, but each and every one of us have a role to play. Government can bring out policies. If the players are not ready, the policies may fail. But if players are really ready to change the narrative, there's nothing that we cannot do. All we need is government should come and leave a level playing ground so that every citizen will have a freedom to do what he wants to do, so that there will be free crime society in Nigeria.
Africa's largest economy faces significant challenges such as mounting debt, slow economic growth, and inadequate infrastructure. These hurdles have hindered the equitable distribution of wealth, especially in the largely unregulated informal sectors, where millions of people are employed.
We ensure that those interested youth, women, matured people that want to be empowered with skills are actually empowered. The main issue is the attitude of people towards employment. People just assume government should do everything. But we too, we need to look inwards. And In ND, we provide, life skills training for them. That prepares them to face the real world. And when your attitude is right, you know how to look inward, you know how to search inward, know what you have passion for, and pursue it. We give them entrepreneurial skills training. We give them basic business training, you understand? So that as you are acquiring the skill, you are thinking ahead.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has promised a better quality of life for poor Nigerians with his renewed hope agenda. But are these enough to immediately pacify millions of hungry Nigerians?
In total, 15 million households will be receiving 75,000 naira over a space of 3 months. This equates to about 61 million Nigerians directly benefiting from the conditional cash transfer. Why do we call it conditional cash transfer, and what really can it do for Nigerians? If we're sincere with ourselves and as a country, we all must put our hands together to make progress. We must recognize the fact that indeed there is need for that urgent intervention to Nigerians. Nigerians need to feel the renewed hope agenda. 75,000 naira, it's enough to start a small-scale business.
Addressing this crisis requires a concerted effort. Experts and communities are joining forces to forge a path forward. Initiatives that foster education, encourage entrepreneurship, and stimulate economic growth are emerging as beacons of hope.
If you give people cash directly, you reduce poverty. You help them in a significant way. So I commend this particular initiative, and I know it is one of a package that Mr. President has for Nigerians. There is concern when payments are being made like this. And in this particular case, the audit trail is there. The mechanism that is going to be used is one that is biometric. It is proven. You will be able to name every single person that has received those funds. So Nigerians can rest assured that this is an efficient and accountable way of providing relief to poor Nigerians.
Despite the new initiatives, many remain skeptical. Will the conditional cash transfer program aimed at alleviating poverty effectively address Nigeria's unemployment crisis? While the battle against unemployment in Nigeria is far from over, there is a glimmer of hope. The demographic advantage of a youthful population is indeed astronomical. Young people like Godiya Solomon, Mustafa Abdullahi, and Maureen Chidima, like many other Nigerian youth across the country, are the key to a booming economy. A concerted effort, multi-sectoral interventions, and a commitment to addressing the root causes of unemployment in Nigeria can address this crisis and unlock the youth potential.